Yeah, OBS is being a jerk. Also, oh, I see, I see. Bird. Normal. My sons, April is here to talk to us about her new book. Hey, April, is this the book about Yaddle? You bet I was only involved in half the story. You guys were involved in the behind-the-scenes stuff. There sure was lots of behind-the-scenes stuff going on. Our family was falling apart. This is when Raph was out being a solo crime fighter, right? Yeah, crime was on the rise, and I didn't think we were doing enough about it. We were doing plenty. See what I mean? So I tricked out a motorcycle and started getting things done on my own. I'm putting you punks out of business. That's a very satisfying move, that knee in midair knee kick thing. He dropped a penny! Hooray! No midair turns. Don't like that. Everybody knows the mark of a hero is property damage. And murdering criminals. I mean, there's nothing about these dudes that necessarily scream, I'm a criminal. What this really looks like is that Raphael is, killing dudes on the street and robbing them. Oh, dude, hell yeah, stir fry. Can I break this thing? Can I go in this alley? Can I fuck with the sign? Can I pick this up? Yeah, we got a pipe now. Look at this guy. Oh, this game has animal abuse. I'm not a fan of that. What kind of kids game is this? Listen, kids, if a dog shows up in the streets and barks at you, make sure that you hit it with your ninja weapons. This civilian seems pretty unperturbed that there's a giant turtle wandering around the subway. It is New York, though. He's probably just like, yeah, what? First the rats, now this. Ow. That guy was just on his way to batting practice, and we fucked his shit up. Ah, yes, New York's famous sewer dogs. I know that guy dropped a croissant, but it looked like a giant shrimp. You ever just beat up a guy and just take his pocket shrimp? A shrimp, yeah. What's up, Jay? I mean, it doesn't seem like pizza time. It seems like shrimp time. I want to pick up this newspaper. I want to know what it says. If I just stand here and these dudes don't come up here, can I just wait for a train? Are you printing anything particularly stupid? I hope the answer is yes. No, give me the thing. Give me your nickel. Civilian. Trash can, give me your goods. I'm torn because I'm like, I'm playing as a turtle, so I'm like, yeah, animals. But then they're like, well, these dogs just show up and they're like, yeah, just kill these animals. And I don't feel good about that. See? Oh, come on. Let me pick up the thing and then hit that guy. What? Great noodles. Dude's attacking me with motorcycles. Really? Right in front of Great Noodles? And in front of Beauty Salon? much crime I'm fighting. There it is. There's the shrimp. Get shrimp. Tea and ginseng. I want to go in there. Let me in this shop. Can I go in here? I need healing items. Shanghai Market. Hong Kong Cafe. Oh no! Garbage. You're right, Sakura. Actually, it's because OBS won't let me update the stream information for some stupid reason that I don't understand. What? Play the game. Game. Can I slice this open? Oh, there's a rat here. Let's kill it. Back. Oh, it's a trophy wall. What did that say? The Foot Clan is back in town. Leo, Raph, Don, Mike, you have to stop them. Select brother. Donatello, obviously. You weren't even in town when that was going on, were you? I'd just come back from South America. I was working for Max Winters, one of the richest men in the world. Winters told me about the legend of this ancient leader, Yaudel, who was so crazy for power that he opened a portal into another dimension. 13 monsters escaped into our world, and Yaudel and his 4 generals disappeared. Winters hired me to find the 4 statues that represented Yaudel's generals. Something big was going down, but we didn't realize it until we saw Karai, the leader of the Foot Clan. Flygon! Welcome, thanks for the bird ups. Heck yeah, bird up. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Cardinal. I play stupid shit.
I'm looking right at them. Those are bird
Thank you for the
wings,
follow. Eating Hawaiian
just huge
pizza.
and on a map.
Excellent, excellent name. Yeah, we were playing Final Fantasy 12, but I used a mod that transformed Vaughn into a Cactite, and we got soft locked. We couldn't progress because we got locked into a cutscene that wouldn't let us proceed. So I switched to TMNT, and for some reason OBS just will not let me update the stream info. So, welcome! Six hours. Oof. No way, dude! It was when we saw that humongous Bigfoot creature. Actually, it was both. Something strange is going on. Something strange is going on. So these obviously look like, you know, robot goons, so I'm okay with it. Like, this game has some strangeness going on. Like, for some reason, like, every once in a while, like, you'll just be on the street and, like, dudes will show up and there's, like, nothing to really signify that they're criminals, per se. You're just like, yeah, kill these dudes, take their money and their gear. Apple. These dudes, it's obvious. These are bad guys for sure. And like sometimes like dogs will show up and they'll just bark at you and you're like, why do I have to engage with these dogs? I don't want to fight dogs. I want that penny. Yes, it's good to see you, Flygon. Hope you're doing well. Robot didn't give a shit about that box. But I do, because I want that apple. Steal these clothes. Break that? Yeah, give me that fight. Hey, what's up, Fedora? Welcome. No, let me have the penny.
I'm looking right at them. Those are bird wings, just huge and on a map.
Thank you for the follow. Penny. I'm using Firebot. Cockroach. Give me the box. No, I wanted to use the box. It had a penny in it. Oh, no, you don't. Pick the guy. Oh, do I get to keep the thing? Yeah, let me keep the thing. And an apple. Can I mess with this truck? Box. It's not following me. Oh, is that for updating the stream info? Yeah, I was trying to update it in OBS. Usually it lets me, and there's like a done button, but for some reason it's just like, yeah, no, we're not gonna... The done button to update the stream information isn't highlighted, so you can't use it. Whoa, that guy's got a cool sword. Can I have it? Yeah. It is enormous! Look at it! That's dope! Yeah, the done button's just done. Game, what is it that you want me to do? Ah, okay. Right on. No, I wanted to throw that guy. Oh man, beating the shit out of him. Give me that apple. Oh my god, stop living. Ooh. That's out of combo. That is a great question. What is the best Ninja Turtle? Or not best, but favorite. Mine is Donatello. But unfortunately for this game, they revealed to you the individual stats for the turtles, and they were like, yeah, he's got the highest defense, but he has no power and no speed, so ew. He's the backup for Leo, though. I don't know how to switch to your backup. I'm like, does it happen when you die? I don't know. Right? No. Pick up guy. Pick up guy. Yeah. Can I pick up this guy? What? Sword. Yeah, sword. Sakura, that's an assessment that I agree with. Believe it or not. What? Get out of here. No. No, it disappeared. Oh, wouldn't let me take it past that point? That sucks. That's what we're up to. Pick up this one? Apparently not. I would love to just, like, chuck this thing and pick up the new one, because this one's going to break. Come on. Good. Excellent ninja tactics. Not doing very much damage, but it is fun to try and do. All right, all right. Plus, it seems like they have a really hard time hitting you while you're in the air. Oh no, it's Donkey Kong. Well, that sucks. Let's try Donatello. Super summon move unavailable. At the Circle K? I'm not sure I understand that reference. I know the Circle K is like a place, but... Listen, I want you on the floor until this guy is dead. I don't think that's too much to ask. Oh, Bill and Ted. It's been a minute. Give me that. What? Give me that sushi. That thing. What am I supposed to be using this money on anyway? Break these? No. I didn't see the third one. I should probably get on that. I should do that. I should do like a Turtles like rewatch movie night thing in my Discord. I will do that. If you're interested, maybe tonight we'll do OG Ninja Turtles movie rewatch in my Discord. I'm down for that. That sounds cool. Oh shit, for real? I didn't know that. That's dope. Yeah, they do those special event type things at the theaters. I went before I saw the updated Dune movie. I went and saw the like 35th anniversary or whatever, 40th anniversary for David Lynch's Dune. That was a fun time. I forgot that Patrick Stewart is in that movie and does a war cry holding a pug. And I was like, yep, that makes it worth it by itself. I also liked it. I like both Dune movies, honestly. Both versions. Yeah, Penny. Yeah, get killed on, robot. Satan, if you would, could you exclamation point Discord in the chat? We'll do that tonight. I'll create a channel so that we can movie time. Thank you. I like that Donatello can actually like reflect those back mid-combo. How's up that? What? I was very nearly bamboozled. Ugh. I knew it was coming and everything. Oh no! Again? Again! Invite people. There. That's good. Sushi. Pennies. Oh yeah, this. Whoa, it's like a whole sushi platter. Use one of those about now. line these dudes up just for a simple combo. That'd be cool. I thought there was like food on the ground. I was like, I'm gonna pick up that ground food. Sword. Oh, if you don't pick the right one, she attacks instantly. Ah, we're crying out loud. Yeah. Next level up achieved. Brenner's helmet. For 10 hits. Wait. Still have no idea what that thing in the top left is. What's this? Oh, shoot! Increases the defense ability by 1 level. Power ability by 1 level. I'll do that. Power, yeah. see. You can only have one at a time. Sports gear. Medicine. Oh, learn how to wall jump? That's cool. Stronger big blade. Warhammer? That's cool. Okay, this is good to know. I want it right now. I did get an extra life. That's cool. Raph, you are going solo once again to track down the monsters in the city. It was very fortunate that after that we were able to return to you for information, April. And I told you about Yaddle, the generals, and the 13 creatures. We theorized that the Bigfoot creature was one of the 13. Yeah, dude, but that didn't make me feel any better. We were getting nowhere. I decided to go out and work some steam off. The kidnapping. Oh man, Raphael's gonna kidnap someone. Like, these dudes just show up. There's nothing really at first to indicate that they're criminals. They're just dudes on the streets in New York. And I mean, if you were walking through the streets in New York and you saw like a giant turtle with a baseball bat in hand, would you also not throw dynamite at it? I mean, I feel like this game is really painting turtles out to be the bad guy. I mean, did you see me? I just hit that dog with an aluminum baseball bat for no fucking reason. Dogs are on the street all the time. There's not anything devious about that. I want to go in this fashion place. I need new digs. Raphael needs a Hawaiian t-shirt ASAP. I'll have you know, Raphael, that defacing a post box like that and defacing federal mail is a crime. Motorcycle guy. Ugh. Get out of here. Yeah, drop your dynamite so I can throw it at that guy and get that soup. Gonna happen. Yes, it's Raphael and he's solo on a kidnapping mission. $6.76 for a half an hour? I don't think so. Game just reaffirms my belief that all parking is a scam. If the shrimp isn't giant, do I even want it? These motorcycle dudes are the worst. What? We didn't even hit him with the dynamite. Cellular wireless. I like salads, zoops, and sandwiches. No, I'm trying to deface all this public property. Subs are always correct, never doubt. Oh man. I was just about to ask us, and be like, are any of these dudes, you know, carrying like a ramen tray in their back pocket that I could just have? Ah, there's the shrimp. The first shrimp. I don't know about you guys, but anytime a dog appears, I throw dynamite. I'm sad that I can't pick up the motorcycle. keep putting myself in risky situations just so that I can get the stupid pickups. What the hell? What the heck is going on with the end of this booth? Looks like it's got cheese coming out of it. What the hell is going on? This guy is way too calm. Like, I'm just gonna drink my coffee while this turtle fights these goons. Is this kid just taking a shit under the table? The health inspector must have a field day with this place. Hey. I kind of hate this. All right, gents. I'm up here. I'm dancing. Give me your dollars. Drop those coins. You know what to do. Table dancing. Somebody clip that. That's stupid. That dude in the background is being scared. I like that it bounces between dudes. That's awesome. Fan of that. Yeah, it's time to use the fryers. Oh, I don't like that. Wow, that did a lot of damage. That did a fuckload of damage. No, not that. You can just go over here? What's over here? Oh, I guess you could just go collect money. Just open world beyond the streets. Oh, Raph can't do the roll? That sucks. Oh. Come on. It's like I can't turn around fast enough when there are two dudes on the screen like that. Sometimes this game feels a little unresponsive. That out. That's a lot of dudes. I'm gonna see if I can get like a 10-hit combo off of this. Doesn't look like I can, because these are stupid. Walk in here with that? Oh. Alright, let's get killed! Ow. You gotta hit it when it's inhaling. That sucks. Especially since we're playing as Raphael, so you have to be at close range. F. Oh, come on. There we go. He has been captured. Raph, Don, Mike, you must go to Winter's Tower and free him. Alright. I tried to tell Raph he didn't have to go out on his own, that he could rely on the rest of us. But Raphael was too angry and impatient to listen, and while the two of you were arguing, you were not paying attention. So we got jumped by 4 dudes who were half man and half giant statues. I barely escaped. I ran back home and told the others Leo got captured. That's when I realized that Winter's statue weren't statues at all. They were the real generals, and they'd come back to life. It looked like the generals and the Foot were collecting all the monsters, and they thought Leo was one of them. But we still had no idea why. The one thing we did know was that nobody messes with one of our family. Storm the Castle, Part 1. we're lined up so good just then, too. Heck yeah, Warhammer. I don't want to pick up the Warhammer. I want to attack the guy. Come on. All right. Army. Foods. Priceless works of art, not on my watch. I tried to do a quick turn after I picked it up. It wouldn't let me. So I think what they want us to do is like go up here and like look at all these shops and whatever. Sports gear. Also, why am I up here as Raphael? Juggle forever. Keep the object in the air to produce 8 hits. You have 3 tries to perform this task. Now focus, my son. Anything? Does it do anything? I go back up there. Do you have something new? No? Okay. $60% off. I need to go down here and see if I can... Okay. Hey, what's up, Baka? Thank you. Thanks for the GLs. Can I... Stats. What does this do? How do I would like to change turtles. Right on. The other thing too is like it doesn't really say whether or not the stuff that you buy applies per turtle or based on what turtle you have like out. So like I see that wall jump applies, but I think I bought it while I was Donatello, so it kinda doesn't matter. Also, if you fail to experience values carry over, it's unclear. From what I can glean, it looks like the game doesn't necessarily have a linear progression path for scaling up attack power and health and the amount of lives and everything. I think what they expect you to do is to grind on the open world sections so that you can get money and experience for all that stuff and then buy it so that you can progress. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's if there's a speed run for this, then there are probably dudes who are like, yeah, I don't need to increase my stats. I'll just do normal combos and fix situations to my advantage. But if you're just casually playing it, you're casually just bouncing off of robots repeatedly. Back here. Look, I know one of these has food in it. Milka. Welcome. How was the rest of the run? Oh, come on. Look, I wanted that thing. No, I wanted the thing. Belgiscal and Guano Skip. Got Riku cutscene. Speed bikes. Yeah. 10 straight chimeras. Ugh. It's like RNG on its way with you. Oh my god. Just got stuck in a loop there. Fuck is this shit? I've been training for this my whole life. Excellent. One Iron Giant fight had to use it to farm speed spheres. Ugh. Okay, we got a lot of money that time. I'm gonna go buy a whole fuck ton of extra lives. This extra life. The max has been reached. In that case. Give me that sweet, sweet karma juice. What's up, DTG? Four of you are reunited together. You must learn what the Foot Clan is up to. Select brother. Yeah, Leo was back, dudes. It was time to start getting some answers. Time to start kicking butt. Next stop, Max Winters. Storm the Castle Part 2. Early haste is always nice. And also that sushi. Traditionally the favorite food of turtles. Sushi. Nothing else. Yeah, that knee move is hilarious if you can hit him multiple times in the air. This one. Good. As long as I have a Warhammer. Oh, I picked up the bomb instead of the Warhammer? Lame. Destroy all that other shit up there. Yeah, the link is expired. We discovered that. There you go. Discovered that during this stream. We were talking earlier about doing like a movie watching thing later tonight, or watch the original Turtles movies. Oh my god, would you get up and fucking jump? This is why I bought those extra lives. Get out of here. Give me a fucking Warhammer. Tiny little dudes are so fucking annoying. Secret of the Goop starring Gwyneth Paltrow. Look at this motherfucker. Oh, okay. I got. Oh, whoa, blah, blah, blah. Whoops. Oh, they explode. Good. Dead. Excellent victory pose. I need to go back up into the streets and replenish all my stupid shit. Before him, you have to find the final monster and lure it back to the tower. Max Winters was Yodel all along. The Foot were so angry about being used that they quit. The Winners had everything he needed to reopen the portal, except for the 13th monster. The only way to end the threat forever was for us to open the portal. So, we needed to find the last monster ourselves, then lure him back to Winter's Tower. Fast. Ninja Turtles against Generals and Monsters for the Interdimensional Championship. Round 1, ding! The hunt for the 13th monster. Sounds like something Tetsuya Nomura would write. Alright, bye. Stop moving. These dudes block? That sucks. Get blocked right off a truck. Oh, this is timed. Good. Is it you have to kill all the dudes before the time runs out, or just survive? I hope it's just survive. I personally think that's unfair because that guy didn't use a baseball swing, he used a fucking golf swing. Wait a minute. Okay, they do count. You have to kill 20 of these dudes. Line up properly. What are you doing? Yeah, I knew that shit was coming, and it happened to me anyway. And then I fell off the truck. No, I fell off the truck. This game is unkind. It wants you to kill these dudes, but it wants you to kill them by throwing them off the truck. Which means you put yourself at risk of throwing yourself off the truck, naturally. Like that. I'm supposed to bounce off of the guy, but no, he just falls off the truck and takes you with him. We're not gonna make it. Oh, for fuck's sake. I don't want to do a roll thing. I just want to make one step. All right. What the fuck? Helicopter? I don't know. Hell? Space? Who could say? Wanted to pick up that bat? You wouldn't let me. Good job, game. For fuck's sake. That stupid double tap to roll is so dumb when you just want to, like, do that. That's all I'm trying to do. Do that. Move a little bit, but you roll. I would prefer it if one of these dudes died so that I can just grab their baseball bat. That's 20. Get out of here, motorcycle guy. I will say that is a satisfying baseball bat sound. Ah, sushi platter. Needed it. Oh, fuck. These dudes. That crate didn't even have anything in it. I mean, if you need an army of goons. No, pick up the bat. Fuck. This asshole. Fuck is this? Trying to feed a dragon guy. Fuck. much money we got, but we need to go spend some. The portal is open. Now you have to fight your way to the generals and defeat them. So we kept feeding the sea monster and brought him all the way back to Winter's Tower, which caused the portal to open. The only thing left to do was to take on the 4 main bad guys. Turtles versus Generals, round 2, ding ding. The final blow. It's the achievement you lock if you're a prostitute on your last day. Ow. I don't like that. That sucked. Get out of here. That's a very satisfying animation when you hit that floaty guy. I am a fan of that. Hate those dudes. Stop that. Stop it. Stop it. Pen card? Question mark? Oh, I hate these dudes. Hell yeah, this is a hot jam. Just gonna do that for the rest of the game. Fuck it. I do like that they let you bounce off of dudes, but the attack power is so stupidly low, and I'm like, you know, I think it would be cool if you were able to have slightly increased attack power for every successive hit until you hit the ground. With a cap. Tiny dudes suck. Like, as soon as they show up, I'm like, nope, not on my watch. Oh, wait, can I? Oh, give me the sword in there. Oh, jeez. I couldn't even get up. They just straight up killed me. I walked right into that shit. Unbelievable is right, game. Can't believe I got murked like that. Oh, look at this guy. That's a cool background. Ah. I see. I'm like trying to avoid that, and it's not working. It would be cool to know in advance which of these dudes is going to show up. It sucks. Okay, I'm mashing the jump button to get out of that, and nothing is happening. And if you get caught in that, you're just fucked. Iframes do not exist. Mine there. It'd be cool if these dudes didn't take like 5 million hits. Die already. What's up, Yorm? Welcome. We're turtling it up on the GBA. As God intended. Don't get caught in that. Don't get caught in that. Fucking, where's the Those tiny dudes suck. Get up, get up. There are no iframes. I'm stuck. I'm pretty sure this is right before the boss too, and it just kills you. God damn it. Go back up to the place. Can I? Yes. 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 Max has been reached. Item unavailable. Then why is it for sale? What the fuck, game? You know what? I am gonna do this. We're at the very end of the game. In the game, it's being an asshole. What the fuck? Sushi. Punch him in the face with a warhammer. It's like, okay if we drop it. Okay, now it's over. Like half of our lives right at the freaking start. Looking good. It's true. Yes, Tortels. Sounds like an old-fashioned department store. Hotels. This asshole. Yeah, he just maneuvered behind me. Can't you see that I'm performing a combo here, you dick? I'd like to get one of these dudes caught up on the mines there. That'd be cool. Or I could just blow it up with my corpse. Hope they're in the splash range. Those are ideas. if I could even accidentally hit that tiny thing. There we go. What? He's breaking my combo and shit. Asshole. That's the ticket. Nothing good. No more living for tiny robots. Not allowed. Alright. We got the big man. Ow. Okay. I jumped. Get out of here. Definitely gonna die. Oh, wait, the big man. What? I press jump. Get out. Oh, crying out loud. Nowhere near that shit. Yeah, but it's got like the weird titles that all of them have now, where it's like, I was a New York cabbie until I was reincarnated as a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Excuse me. Big sneeze. Get out of here. What's a picture of heads? Am I already? Be more dead. Good. So together we beat the generals and toss them into the portal, closing it off and putting an end to Yodel and his pals forever. We also learned that we can do anything as long as we stick together as a family. Wow, it's a lot of achievements just randomly unlocked. Thanks, guys. That's a terrific story, but it's not quite finished yet. No way. Speaking of sticking together, April, didn't Casey ask you to marry him right after that? Yes, but that's another story. Completed the game on normal difficulty. Care to try the hard difficulty? Good luck. We did it. It was fine. Perfectly serviceable video game. And not enough explosions. Not enough pizza! I can't believe all you picked up was sushi and sushi platters. What the hell is that? I'm gonna add this to the spreadsheet. Game speed on stream. TMNT. That brings the current count to 50. This was the big 5-0. Shrimps is the future. This was the big 5-0. I should also mention that all of the games that we beat on this stream, the VODs for those are on the YouTube channel, and there are exclusive games over there, videos for games that we didn't beat on stream but exist over there. So if that's your thing, that's where you can find them. Big shouts to VOD watchers. There it is. TMNT for the Game Boy Advance. At some point, I have plans to play the PS2 version of this game, but I need to check it out because I need to make sure that the cutscenes aren't just scenes from the movies, because we've run into that a couple of times. It's a good menu theme. Oh, there's an attract mode. Let's see how the computer does. Let's see how they handle this. They don't even get the money. Can't believe you, game. Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know you could throw dudes in the gap. You just throw dudes off the building. That's cool. Alright, let's see who's online. Sorry that Final Fantasy 12 didn't work out. I'm upset that it crashed. I was looking forward to being a cactus. Let's go say hi to Cactus Bee. Cactus Bee is doing stuff. Go say hi to Bee. Bee is cool and plays cool games. I might be back later this evening. I have stuff to take care of, but I don't think I'll be beating any games, but I might come back later this evening and I have the 60 FPS patch for Bloodborne. Thinking about checking that out. Thanks everybody for coming in, hanging out. Thanks Flygon for the raid. I know you're not here anymore, but you're a gem. If you had a good time, if you're not following already, go ahead and drop a follow. Really appreciate that. Appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out and saying hi. Hope everybody has a good rest of their day. Take care of yourselves. Be good. Be well. Be cool. Be movie. See you next time. Bye.